ये अपनी स्क्रीन दिख रही है ना वेबिनार की?
हाँ दिख रहा है सर।
नेक्स्ट
next name of coordinator Professor Vijay Kele webinar on this. बरोबर लगता है आपने डिजाइन किया सर?
नहीं सर, हमारे यूनिवर्सिटी में एक इवेंट सेल है, वही सब करते हैं, रेगुलर इवेंट सेल करके है, वही डिजाइन करते हैं।
Hello. Sir, you are live now. Okay. You can begin.
Okay, sir. Hello. Good afternoon and all. Myself, Dr. Vijay Kele, Associate Professor, Dairy Business Management, Parul Institute of Technology, Parul University. So, today we have organized the webinar on impact of COVID-19 on dairy and food stakeholders. So, we have two experts, one from academics and one from industry. We can say he's a young entrepreneur, and one is from academics. So, I will introduce one by one. First one is Dr. Neeraj Kumar Dubey. He's working as an associate professor marketing management with Ramnikon Mehta National Institute of Cooperative Management, Ramnikon, Ministry of Agriculture and Farmer Welfare, Government of India, Pune. Since 2013, he's a Center for Management Education there. Dr. Neeraj sir having more than 24 years of techno-commercial experience. Previously, he worked associated with Ranbaxy Lab, Balaji Institute of Management, IIT Gwalior, etc. in higher positions. He is credited with the many more international and national journals, and he had authored many more reference books. He had delivered the many more sessions in national and international MDPs as a resource person in India and abroad. So I request, then second, the industry person is entrepreneur Vikas Patil. Mr. Vikas Patil is now working with director, food ingredients, import and distribution, as well as new product development with Mirtillo India Private Limited from last 4 years. He having the more than 12 years of techno-commercial expertise in the field of dairy and food industry. He had worked with Gujarat Cooperative Milk Marketing Federation, Anand, then Mosaic Company, IMCD, Calpro, Mother Dairy, etc. As per the educational concern, the entrepreneur Vikas sir having his credited and has completed the BTech Dairy Technology and MBA Marketing Management. Now I request to Dr. Neeraj sir, please share their views on impact of COVID-19 on dairy and food stakeholders.
Thank you, Dr. Keleji. Hello everyone. Myself, Dr. Neeraj Kumar Dubey. I am working as Associate Professor in Institute of Management, Pune. Our institute comes under Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare and was established in 1946. So, dear friends, apart from our normal academics, we are conducting various kinds of training programs for cooperative sector, especially your dairy cooperatives. So, I have been associated with teaching and training in this institute. So, dear friends, all of you are aware that this COVID-19 problem is very acute for the world. This particular virus was detected in late 2019 in Wuhan, China. So this virus was named as COVID-19. So this problem, earlier it was there in China, later on in some other countries, and from 30th January 2020 onwards, some cases were detected in India. So our government has taken initiative, and our Honorable Prime Minister of India, Sri Narendra Modi, he has imposed complete lockdown in our country from 25th March 2020 onwards. It was later extended up to 17th May. Earlier it was up to 14th April. So, my dear friends, all of you are aware that most of these sectors are seriously affected by this COVID-19 problem. This complete lockdown is there in our country. Till now, around 1,783 deaths have been reported. 52,552 people are infected by this virus in our country. As far as world tally is concerned, 264,000 deaths have been reported in the world, and around 3.76 million people are infected by this virus. So fortunately, our animals, they are not affected by this virus, and fortunately, the important thing is our government has declared that some emergency services will be open. For example, we have hospitals, medical, it comes under the medical emergency, medical stores, as well as dairy sector, dairy sector plus veterinary doctors. All these are not coming into this lockdown. They are free. They are providing their services to the people. So, my dear friend, let me tell you very briefly what dairy is basically. Dairy is a business enterprise established for harvesting or processing of animal milk, mostly from cows or buffaloes, but also from goats, sheep, horses, or camels for human consumption. So, my dear friends, the topic of our webinar is the impact of COVID-19 on the dairy sector. So, first of all, we should understand who are the stakeholders in the dairy sector. So, friends, as you know very well, the first and foremost important stakeholder in the dairy sector is farmer,
इसमें स्टार्ट नहीं हुआ क्या?
actual milk producer who is producing the milk, right? Other stakeholders are milk collection agencies, milk processors, cooperative and private
नहीं, स्टॉप स्ट्रीमिंग है सर, स्टार्ट तो हो गया.
suppliers of animal food, suppliers of packaging materials, transporters, milk distributors, retailers, common man, consumers, and government regulating agencies, including veterinary doctors and paramedical staff. So, my dear friends, we have to see how all these stakeholders of various sectors are directly or indirectly affected due to this COVID-19 problem, which has become a pandemic situation throughout the world, including India. So, let me share some basic data of the milk production in our country. In the last 3 decades, world milk production has increased by more than 59%. That is from 530 million tons from 1988 to 843 million tons in 2018. So as we know very well that India is the largest milk producer with 22% of global milk production, followed by USA, China, Pakistan, and Brazil. So we are the leader in the world as far as milk production is concerned. So as I said you, friends, that our government has imposed complete lockdown in our country from 25th March 2020 up to April 14. Later on, it was extended up to May 17 this year. So this dairy sector was kept free from this lockdown, including other emergency services like hospitals, medical stores, petroleum. So people have become very panicked due to pandemic situation of coronavirus in the world. Even many people, they have stopped consuming milk because of this fear. So this is affecting the demand of the milk in the market. So let me share some data about the milk.
सर ओके
Around 100,000
सब
crore
अच्छे चल रहे हैं
Indian dairy industry has suffered a 25 to 30% dip
देख लो थोड़ा वेट
in
करो
demand
नेट की टाइम
ever since the country locked down for the COVID-19 lockdown over 5 weeks ago. That means since this problem was initiated, COVID-19 problem, we have seen around 25 to 30% decline in the demand. So a large portion of the dip in demand is due to the out-of-home consumption. Secondly, that out-of-home consumption contributes around 15% of the milk consumption, right? Coming to the grinding halt, restaurants, roadside eateries, all of them are shut down. Even marriages are not happening.
हाँ जितेंद्र
Many people they are reluctant to
डॉक्टर विजय
consume milk
जो हमारा इम्पैक्ट ऑफ कोविड 19 का
because of
जो चल रहा है ना
fear of coronavirus.
उसमें पार्टिसिपेट हो रहे हैं ना तो उन्हें दिखने
So, my
चाहिए
dear friends, despite the demand dipping, milk procurement has come down as the dairy cooperatives are forced to adhere to the government notification
वो
of mandatory
नहीं आपको वहाँ नहीं लोगों को
livelihood
व्यूज हो रहा है लेकिन दिखाई नहीं दे रहा है
This has led to surplus milk in most states.
ओके है ना बाकी
So, my dear friends,
मुझे एक बार भेज
tell
दीजिए
you initially this decline was around 25 to 30%. Later on, government has issued some notifications in the newspapers and at digital platforms. So people got convinced, yes, the consumption of milk is safe even in this COVID-19 problem. So cooperatives, for example, GCMMF, that is Amul, and Karnataka Milk Federation and Mahananda in Maharashtra are buying extra milk just to help farmers. Karnataka Milk Federation is known to be buying 7 to 8 lakh liters of additional milk per day. This is the latest data which they have shared on their website. Maharashtra procurement rates have fallen from 31 to 27 rupees because there is decline of demand in the market and there is oversupply of milk by the farmers towards the cooperative milk federations. So the cooperatives are using the surplus milk to make skimmed milk powder that we know SMP and white butter. So prior to the outbreak of COVID-19, the Indian dairy industry was going through a shortage of milk and a lot of private dairy companies were planning to import SMP from countries, for example, New Zealand, to make up the shortfall. The global S&P prices, which had skyrocketed to around 340 rupees per kg prior to COVID-19 outbreak, in the last few weeks, these prices have crashed to 230 rupees per kg, with demand in the global market are dipping. As per Sri R.S. Kodhi, Chairman and Managing Director of Amul, the situation is averaging out gradually. The dip in demand has now settled at 10 to 12%. Earlier it was 25 to 30%. Now it is around 10 to 12%. It was around 35% initially, though out of home consumption is zero now. Consumers are buying products such as paneer, ghee, cheese in huge quantities from retail stores. We haven't lost too much sales in value terms. Paneer sales, as per Sodi, has gone up by around 80% in the last couple of weeks. On the other hand, products like ice cream, milkshake, lassi have seen a huge dip in demand. Almost 50 to 60% of annual turnover of ice cream comes during the months of March, April, and May. And this year, it is virtually not there. Consumers are not buying ice cream as they fear infection, as told by Sri Raskavar, Chief Executive Officer of Creamline Dairy, a subsidiary of Godrej Agriculture. So, my dear friend, government agencies as well as private organizations, they are putting their best effort to protect the interests of the farmers and other stakeholders of dairy sector. As far as animal feed is concerned, many farmers are struggling to get supply of animal feed supplements due to lockdown in India with effect from 25th March 2020. Many farmers are feeding strawberries, especially in Satara district where it is grown, and grapes, mostly uh, in this area where grapes is grown. So they are feeding these grapes and strawberries to their cattle as there are hardly any buyers on these fruits in the lockdown period. There are few areas in the countries which are not connected with many milk cooperatives or any organized milk procurement agency. Farmers of these areas are struggling to supply their milk at competitive rates. So, my dear friends, we have to see that farmers, they are trying to protect their animals even though they are not getting animal feed in the market in some areas. So what they are doing is they are offering fruits, they are offering pulses, they are offering some other food supplements just to keep them fit. So what are the government initiatives? Dairy sector was exempted from the lockdown. Veterinary services also declared under emergency services. So Agriculture Ministry directed the cooperative dairies to procure maximum milk from the farmers as many farmers are unable to sell their milk in the open market. The National Dairy Development Board (NDDB), its head office is situated in Anand, Gujarat, in association with GCMMF, that is Amul, Mother Dairy, and other bodies, framed refitting policies to protect the interests of the stakeholders of dairy business. So, friends, let me tell you what are the initiatives which are taken by the NDDB amid COVID-19 crisis. Number one, as we know very well, that NDDB is the highest dairy business regulatory body in our country, and it has taken several initiatives to protect the interest of the stakeholders. NDDB requested dairy cooperatives to ensure supply of milk and milk products by a press release that was issued on 25th March 2020. Considering the dairy cooperatives account for bulk of the organized milk supply to consumers, it is important that they make all the necessary arrangements to ensure supply of milk and milk products to consumers in the unprecedented situation created by COVID-19 virus. Sri Dilip Rath, Chairman NDDB said, in view of the present COVID-19 pandemic, NDDB has made an appeal to all dairy cooperatives across the country to take essential measures for continued supply of milk and milk products so as to avoid situation of panic buying by consumers. In case of any difficulty in maintaining the dairy supply chain, the concerned dairy cooperatives are advised to contact the local authorities. Dairy cooperatives were also requested to make suitable arrangements for ensuring uninterrupted collection of milk, chilling, transportation, and processing of milk and availability of fodder in villages. The lockdown measures announced by the Ministry of Home Affairs, that is MHA Government of India, may dry up majority of income sources for the people in rural areas. Hence, milk business may prove to be the only essential lifeline for millions of rural dairy farmers. While commercial and private establishments shall be closed down, dairy and milk booths are allowed as essential services. Arrangements for animal fodder can also be continued. Cold storage and warehousing services are permitted. Transportation and other logistics services with respect to the above are also exempted. We should all work together in these challenging times to fight COVID-19 pandemic. So my dear friends, there are some pictorial guidelines suggested by NDDB. The first one is this you are watching on this screen, protective measures against the coronavirus. As you know that this is very deadly virus, spreading very rapidly throughout the world. There are several preventive and protective measures. So NDDB is advising to all the stakeholders how to protect yourself, your cattle, even the consumers should get safe milk at their home, whether it is packaged or it is open milk. It is another pictorial shared by the NDDB to the dairy farm and milk collection point. What are the do's and don'ts which farmers are expected to follow? Right, friends? So, the basic purpose of sharing these pictorial guidelines is to create awareness among the farmers and other stakeholders who are directly or indirectly connected with the production and supply of milk to the end users, so that end users, that is consumers, should get good quality milk at their home without any doubt or any fear of coronavirus. This is another pictorial shared by this NDDB. What are the do's and don'ts which are expected on the stakeholders as management level? What exactly we should do and what things we should avoid. Reception and dispatch dock. This is very important. Here, what exactly we should do and what exactly we should avoid. So we have to ensure that our end users should get good quality milk without any hesitation. This is about personal hygiene. So here, what they are trying is, there should be minimum human touch with the milk, right? Starting from the milk procurement to the final delivery of milk to the end users. This is another pictorial shared by the NDDB with all the stakeholders of the dairy sector, including the transporters, even the retailers. They have advised to wear mask, wear gloves, sanitize their hands from time to time. Even the retailers who are selling the packaged milk in the various places of the market, they are also given this kind of advice so that consumers like you and me, they can freely purchase the milk without any doubt. And indirectly, by adopting these measures, we can control the declining sale of the milk in our country. Because people can have confidence, yes, our agencies, they are providing safe milk. This is not infected milk. This is another one, pictorial shared by the NDDB. So finally, NDDB informed that in order to maintain the required hygiene at all levels. It is actively advising its stakeholders on precautions detailed by varied authorities. Mother Dairy, Amul, and all major milk processing organizations had put in place strict protocols around the collection of milk to minimize person to person contact and thus to ensure safety at collection, processing, and distribution levels as reported. Even the local milk suppliers are taking utmost care to supply milk at homes. It is a very high time for dairy sector of India to maintain its good image in the domestic as well as international market by adopting global standards of hygiene from initial stage of procurement to the delivery of milk to the end user. So friends, let me tell you that India is gearing up to host World Dairy Summit in 2022. As leading milk producer, it seems that updated guidelines shall be formulated to ensure proper safety measures in future. So, my dear friends, this is all about our discussion on the topic which we have decided the impact of COVID-19 on dairy stakeholders. Since we are having limited time, our another colleague is about to join us. If you have any queries, you can ask later. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yes,
Okay.
please.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Neeraj sir. Thank you very much for sharing your experience and thoughts on impact of coronavirus on cooperative dairies as well as private dairies. And you have very good explained the do's and don'ts for dairy stakeholders. Thank you very much. Now I request to young entrepreneur Vikas sir, please proceed. Please share your PPT. Vikas sir, am I audible
Yes,
to
yes,
you?
yes,
Okay,
yes.
sir. Please.
I'm
Yes.
doing. Just minute. Huh? Is it visible now? Hello.
Yeah, it is visible.
Hello.
Visible.
So I think Professor Neeraj has explained very well the impact of COVID on stakeholder of all dairy and complete value chain of the dairy and how it is affected from the coronavirus pandemic. So I think let's. I have gone through this approach with the practical aspects like. Dairy industry in India, if you look at, we are the world leading milk and milk producer, and we rule this from 1998. We crossed USA in 1998, and at present we are, I think, 10,005 to 7 billion value in terms of Indian rupees, and our CAGR is almost 15%. It is like 14.8%. So we are doing extremely well in terms of dairy across globe. So if we look at the products that were offered in India as well as in abroad, like fluid milk, flavor milk, UST milk, all types of dairy products that are listed on this presentation, like curd, frozen yogurts, then ice cream industry is a separate industry, then dairy whitener like dry products, then B2B products like lactose. So what I did is like uh, I have done some survey with a practical questionnaire. Uh, I will share the questionnaire. Okay, this is the link of questionnaire where you can go to Google form and even you can submit your review to this form. after this presentation also, because we have kept this open till the tomorrow 4 p.m. And I think from last 2 days, I have gone through some survey from leading companies like there are so many people who are working in company like Amul, Dynamics, Heritage Food, Mahindra, then Suckers, then I think owners. A lot of private companies also did, which are owner-based company like Pestonji in Mumbai. So Prabhat Dairy, all these kind of companies. So what we did is like we have designed a questionnaire, and we can go direct to the questionnaire, and we can see the exact impact of coronavirus with the graphical presentation or number of responses, and what is the like exact answer, or whatever the major customers that has responded to the respective question. So first question was, how much percentage of production reduced in your factory due to the coronavirus? So this question goes to the dairy manufacturers. I think we already covered farmer to customer, the complete stakeholder. So if you look at the manufacturer, the and options were given was like extremely high, like 80 to 100%, then 60 to 75%, which is high, then average is like 30 to 60%, then low, very low, and production is totally closed. You can see there is a clear picture that 30 to 60 means roughly say 34 percentage of total people are saying we are affected by production, and our production is lower by almost 35%. So even some people are described like their factories are totally closed. If you see the 3% of people saying their factories are idle, means they are not doing any production now. There are 18% people who are saying we are actually making very less production, like less than 10%, whatever we make daily. So that means production is really hampered on an average of 35% to the dairy industry, and this is the actual feedback. After, I think production, if you look at the procurement from the farmer side, so farmer side, you can see I think the procurement has not that much affected by the COVID, because the most of the milk is coming from rural areas, and still rural areas are not that much affected by COVID-19. Exceptions are really it is still restricted to metropolitan like Mumbai, Pune, Ahmedabad kind of locations. So if you see, highest people are saying we are affected very low, like 10%, or and there are some 20% people who are saying not no change at all, means very low, then low, and no change at all. That means if you make a sum, more than 50 to 60% are saying either they are not at all affected, or they are affected with very low percentage. So this is about milk procurement. Then we can go to the next slide. So how much overall effect of coronavirus suffered in terms of sales value of any dairy manufacturer, whether it in terms of dairy products or fresh milk or like that. So here you can see, I think average 30 to 60% again. That means again 35% people are saying, yeah, sale is affected. Means if we are selling 100 tons, we are now selling 65 tons. So that is a drop down of 35% in a product like sales, and few are selling like 18% people or 23% people are saying we are doing very low sale, like we are 10 to 30%, and again there are 3% class who are saying our sale is almost zero. So this is very alarming, because if sale is not happening, then revenue is not coming. If revenues are not coming, then there is no employment, and all these are questionable. So even if you say 35%, it looks like a highest percentage, but overall you consider it is a very heavy damage on the sales of the dairy products. Then we can go to the next slide. So this I think we already covered. So we go to the next slide about this uh, myth. The myth is highly affected for ice cream industry, like or frozen desserts. If products are serving chilled or project products are serving to frozen conditions, few people are assuming that it is not safe for consumption during the this COVID-19 or coronavirus period. So I think if you look at this thing, if I ask so many people and most of the people said, yeah, this myth is really affecting the ice cream industry or those products which are serve as a chill conditions. So I think this myth also affecting the sales in terms of dairy products. If you look at the no answer is 25% only. Means almost 66% people are saying it is affected. Now, if you look at the trend in sales of the dairy products, including milk and all dairy products, uh, I have asked very simple question to all the dairy manufacturers, the stakeholders. Do you have observed any change in the trend of sales of your milk products? Or, for example, if we are selling milk and other products, is it the same proportion which was earlier, or there is some change? For example, is there is any increase in milk only, or your products, milk dairy products are very on lower side in terms of sales? Then 63% of people are saying yes, because whatever we are selling earlier, it is not the same trend that we are selling. The proportion of or the distribution of the milk and milk product that was earlier selling, so it was not happening nowadays. So the next question was very relevant to this question. Out of the all your product portfolio, which are the products that contributed your highest sales? So 67% people are saying it is only liquid milk and pouch milk. That means market milk. And after that, there are some fermented products. So if you look at the graph, most of the people are selling the liquid milk or fermented regular products like dahi, these kind of products. But all dairy products are really hampered by this coronavirus, and lot of people are converting milk into dried milk like SMP or WMP or any lactose kind of a product. So this survey shows us that there is a heavy impact on the milk and milk products as a byproduct industry, which because they are not able to reach to consumer, and this is creating some impact on the dairy industry in terms of sale distribution. Now, I ask the questions to the those companies which are actually having the facility of drying milk after. For example, if you look at the procurement side, 30-40% procurement or 50% in some dairies, 50% procurement they are converting into now into milk product. There is no option, because if milk is coming excess and there is no sale in front of like market, then they have to convert, they have to start their dryers, they have to start their manufacturing of skim milk powder, WMP or any dry products, or even long shelf life products like flavor milk or UST milk, like that. So if you look at the graph, uh, I think most of the people who asked, they were not having spray drying facility, but major people said we are doing almost 50% of total milk for spray drying. Means whatever the milk coming, 50% is going to the spray drying. Then we go to the next question. Do you feel any challenge in keeping your production on due to the non-availability of labor or employees? The question actually asks in such a way that whether your factories or location of manufacturing are affected due to the labor or employees, because most of the people are going back to their town, and most of the people are not going on duty due to the like no coronavirus. So but it was neutral, I think. most of the metropolitans are affected, but in those plants who are in the rural areas, or those employees are permanent employees or not contractor labor, then it is found like it is a 50-50%, means we can be a neutral on that. But still there is a 50% which are affected by the availability of manpower. Then next question was, how much employees or manpower you feel excess now or unutilized, or they are idle this time, where you feel paying salary as a burden to you. This is happening most of in the private dairies, or those dairies who are not having excess fund or balance fund to survive their companies. So even if you can see almost 20 below 20% is the major answer, means if you have 100 employees, the owner of companies are thinking like 20 employees are idle and 80 employees are now needed for this production or the show is going on, and another is like 20 to 40. If you add this 20 to 40 and 20 percentage, that means on an average 30 to 35% people are still burdened for the existing dairy company, where I think even it is not a burden for dairy companies, but not even all the industry who are like no paying salary from last 1 month 2 month, and it is becoming a problem because unemployment and the salaries, these are the concern. Even people are afraid, feeling unsafe about their job and career. So definitely dairy industry also is not exception. It is also affected by this I think the unemployment. Then we go to the next slide. So next question was, what was the biggest challenge post COVID that is making you worried? Options were transportation reaching to customers, non-availability of manpower, low sales or no sales, non-availability of milk product, procurement, financial burdens like EMI, fixed cost, or overheads, and it has been drastically the higher percentage is going to the financial means people are taking burdens like they are paying EMIs, they are paying fixed costs, they are paying salaries, they are paying a lot of things to just show on, and even the milk prices are down, as Professor Neeraj told. So I think it is clearly showing that there are two factors really affecting on the dairy manufacturer. One is transportation, and another one is their own financial health. Own financial health. If it is continue for next, like no 3 to 5 months or 6 months, then many companies you will see they will quit their production, or they will completely stop their production due to the financial health. So it clearly seen in the COVID effect that financially there is a very negative environment in terms of the survival. So next question was, how do you want to recover your sales during this COVID time? Because sales is the only tools where your organization will be happy, and your revenue generation will be more, and you can pay all these things to the stakeholders, right? Not only stakeholders, for every part of value chain, including farmer to consumer. Then most of the people said door delivery, or we are making online merchandising or making availability to the distributors or retailers. So exactly, the dairy industry is coming typically in very fast VFMCG, and if the reach is the issue, then nobody can do anything. So people are trying to reach customer innovative way, because distributors or the regular or traditional distribution channel is not working that effectively in the COVID time. So people are focusing on the online merchandising or door delivery, or by making availability, or like no including the distributor and retailers to make the product reach to the customers, because customer is now completely locked down, or in some areas they are not moving aggressively, like green zone or orange zone even. So next question was, do you think you need to work on innovative products that will attract customers post COVID? If yes, what will be your focus area? For example, here the question was to create some new offering to the market, and 42 or 43% people are saying we are thinking to launch new products with immunity boosters. I think Amul has already did with turmeric milk or golden milk, and some people are thinking to add some vitamins to their existing products, their change some product, so that customer can feel safe or customer can be attracted to get some immunity or immunity kind of thing. There are some 14% people who told we are thinking, but at this moment we are not able to understand what to launch. And most of the people saying, like 32% people are saying, no new launch, we don't want to take any risk at present. We want to go with same offerings that we have at present, because survival is a question and we want to make it very clear. Whatever products that we are having, we don't want to now launch any new product. But it looks like majority is like people are interested to launch very new products to the market which can support to the immunity or COVID. So I think hygiene has become very like no extra ordinary. Like this survey totally shown that hygiene is the most important now for any company in dairy. There is a lot of hygiene is already carried out in dairy, but still it is like no, after this COVID, like social distancing and sanitization and everything. So I think people are accepted that 100% we have to focus on the hygiene. So if hygiene is the answer, yes is the answer from the hygiene, then how much increase do you will happen in your dairy or monthly expenses? Because hygiene means you have to invest on some practices, invest on some that like sanitizers, then mask, then all the things that is required to maintain the social distancing, as well as to clean maintain the complete hygiene, because hygiene is directly proportional to the trust level of the customer. If you are showing any videos over your factories, or you are showing to the your end consumer how you are making extra precautions during this, I think many companies are doing now in on television or like that, while advertising there, and how they are feeling their customer like we you are taking the safe brand. So that means what, hygiene is directly proportional to the sales nowadays. And uh, overall, if you look, almost 31 and 37 is like almost 68% people are saying like very low or low, but yeah, it is a little bit burden for us. And people are saying very very low, as they are maintaining already hygiene, but few need to be added like sanitizer and all these things. So next question, do you want to transfer this hygiene cost to the customer? Or definitely, if the cost is increased, they are going to transfer to the customers. So most of the people say yes, we are going to hand out these in terms of MRP or like that, because extra safe and all these conditions will not be that much cheaper. But it is still a 50-50%. Some people are saying yes, some people are saying no. So it's optional call again. And it was simple asking like, do you think that customer will pay for this? So most of the people are saying yes. So because customer even say like no, customer also will ready to pay extra if any company is offering extra hygiene or the trust worthy products or so. And the next like hygiene will convert directly to the trust, and trust will convert directly to sales. It is clearly dominated that 77% people are saying it is right, because it is one of the most important factor that will affect post COVID. not only the during COVID, but post COVID also, it is one of the factor that will affect on the sales. Then we asked the descriptive questions like, what are your plans after COVID, and what are the things that you want to do or recover fast immediately, so that you can get on the track. So there are, I think, lot of multiple suggestions came from different audiences, and many people say myths should be wipe out. Like most of the ice cream industry, people are not eating ice cream. Ask like no, even government has come upfront. Ice creams are safe, and all the ice cream associations, all these things are manufacturer also educating customer that ice cream is safe. So myths should be wiped out. Then sale could be increased by consumer awareness about the product's quality and its durability. Then liquidation of existing stock is also focused for the some companies where they are already having stocks in their warehouses in terms of long shelf life products or dried products, and they just want to liquidate this. So milk, even the I described like we can boost immunity in terms of adding some turmeric or vitamin C or all the vitamins in terms of our natural botanical extract or probiotics to the fermented product or the drinking product. So I think that can be also possible, and many people have suggested this. So I think many people are saying 6 months survive recover is not possible. Try to at least survive in this industry, and it will take a lot of time to flatten these graphics. Means it will take 6 months to 8 months to recover this complete slowdown in sense of sale, because say February, March, April, and May, it is the peak season for the dairy industry for sale or consumption of dairy products, and most of the companies do 60 to 65% of business. Even some companies do 70 to 75% of business in these 5 months. But you can see the season is out of the no scope due to the COVID. So this is also one of the feedback that came from the many people. So, and most of the people are saying we will focus on UST products because we are already selling UST products, and we will keep more focus on that because it is having shelf life of 6 months, and movement is very easy, or transportation can be easy. So even people are feeling safe to have juices or Tetra Pak products kind of thing, where they feel it is a highly hygienically. So this is also survey. And uh, the next is like people are also focusing on the ice cream industry, where they are trying to focus on the store products. Again, it is inventory liquidation. Then some people are focusing on the transportation facility on their own. Those who are depending on the transportation facilities, they are trying to develop their own transportation facility so that they can reach to the customers. They can reach to the market. So if you feel the gap in the distribution, because if you see the customer is sitting in the home, and they still need some delicious product, they still need but they are only buying milk and curd at present, and factories also want to sell, but factory is not able to reach. So only this gap can be filled with the next 3 to 5 months. Then it will be far better. And those who are big dryers, they can make SMP, because there was a lot of crisis of SMP, which price was like 340 rupees, 350 rupees. Then the extra milk solids can be converted to SMP, and it can be used in the lean season. Then it was very simple that government is again every crisis has government link. Like, do you think government should come forward and show some support to the dairy entrepreneurs, cooperatives, private limited companies? And if yes, what are your basic two demands that you want to make to the government now? So it is very complex reaction. Some people say yes, definitely government should come forward, crisis, and government should support at least for the loan that avail to the dairy industry, or the I think they should make some flexibility, which I think RBI is already done in 3 months. But this is not a purpose. I think some people have so clearly said it is our own problem. If we involve government every time, then government is they are also helpless because they where they will see. So we have to see in a such a way where we can try to survive ourselves. So this is the government, but government is doing, I think, good job in terms of hygiene, and they are publicizing. Even FSSI has shared some guidelines to the. But yes, financial burden is again debatable question. Some companies are dying. Some companies are trying to survive. Some companies have a very high stored bulk income or where they can survive for at least 6 months or 1 year. So it is a complex reaction, but still people are saying government should take this because there are some ministry of like dairy and country where this can be taken care of. Then any others new suggestion? Again, I think uh, uh, dairy entrepreneurs have suggested like they should frame systematic and holistic plan for all the stakeholders where they can run the show. And there are some differ food industry due to the sensitive and of milk, sensitivity or perishability of milk. And I think Indian market is big, so even post COVID, people can try to sell this product, because if you see uh, during COVID also, dairy industry did good sales in terms of like as compared to other industry. We see the other industry, they are highly affected. Apart from pharma and all these things, dairy still is 35 or 40% down, because dairy comes under daily need, or daily it is a one of the need where milk is required to each and every household. So we are that much at least lucky that we are at least running the show. There are some industries where they are literally locked down. So I think hygiene, then financial stability, stock, logistics, digital marketing, then complete value chain. Then some are discussing about break-even point, where some people have started their new factories, new plants, and their plans are now little bit shut down. So they are thinking what to do. So everybody's like, no, there is a mixed reaction among the industry. But if you go the overall reaction, definitely there is a little bit down reaction, and obviously it is natural for all other industry, not only the dairy industry. So I think we have covered this again. So I will summarize this session with the almost 7 to 8 points. We have to accept now that world is changed and need to adapt all the changes. Because if we do not adapt now, and we still be thinking that it will hardly survive for 1 month, or then we are making very wrong mistakes. Like we should think like it is going for a long time, at least for 6 months or 8 months or 1 year at least, and we should plan in a such a way so that we can survive at least. Then safety of own employees or even yourself. Follow all guidelines from these FSSI or Health Ministry of where all the operations can be carried out with the guidelines for the like no at least to not spread out this COVID among our employees, because if employees are not coming on job, then your factory is closed down. So this is a very important. Then reach to customer door. I think how to do this, considering the complete lockdown in red zone, uh, we have to really think and innovate accordingly. How what we can do the best, because there are different conditions to the different companies, from small company, from small shop to door delivery, to the big cooperative or big private limited company, to the distributors and retailers, or the consumers. We have to really need to look differently to reach the customers, and those people will be successful who are reaching to the door of the customers now. Then online merchandising, yes, definitely online merchandising already working, but is not that aggressive, and every company is still FMCG. All FMCG company are practically doing on distribution and retailing, but this option also can be carried out. Then time to focus on existing inventory again for the survival, and at least we should focus on arranging funds that will keep our show continuous, like cover the overheads, loan, reduce the variable cost, whatever best we can do, because it is very big challenge for all dairy entrepreneurs. And uh, like no, it is very easy to talk, but if you look at the any dairy entrepreneur, he daily thinking like no 10 times how to this continue this show, because milk prices are down, sales is down, everything is there is no buffer income or like no good income where they can go ahead with that. And still during this negativity, opportunity loss is definitely there. But if you look at the problem, still there are opportunities. We can create some innovative products or immunity booster. We can maintain some hygienic practices. We can maintain some we can be totally independent on the transportation, or optimize our transportation facility, so that our this rotation of business will continue. At present the problem is the business is not that much rotating which was earlier. So at least we can try to rotate this business, then it will be very easy for any stakeholder, including farmer to the end consumer. So again, if any people are making some heavy investment on new projects or new plans, they should at least take a break, or if they are financially sound, they can continue again. But I think this is not right time to convert like no lot of new factories or like this. So I think this is all from my side in terms of impact of overall industry. And we can again look this impact of COVID in a separate manner, uh, so that we can take extra precautions or extra things.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Vikas, sir. Thank
Thank
you very
you.
much.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much. You have collected the practical question here and information more than the 13 leading dairy companies or industries for today's webinar. Thank you very much. Special thanks to you. And you have explained the impact of COVID-19 on procurement, processing, marketing, as well as product-wise impact. That is very interesting. I got a message from the audience. They like too much this session. And thanks to Dr. Neeraj Dubey sir and entrepreneur Vikas sir for thoroughly discussion on the topic of impact of COVID-19 and dairy enterprise. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
हेलो
हेलो।
हेलो हाँ नीरज सर।
हाँ केले जी, आप ऑफ हो गए, इससे बाहर आ गए उससे?
हाँ 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 हो गए सर। चलो
नाउ वी कैन डिस्कस समथिंग।
नहीं नहीं नथिंग सर नथिंग। ओके इट्स ओवर। मैं जो सर्टिफिकेट भी आ गए आपके मैं फॉरवर्ड कर देता हूँ।
अच्छा अच्छा
हाँ आ गए
इसका क्या रिकॉर्डिंग वगैरह भी कुछ होगा आपके पास?
हाँ रिकॉर्डिंग है सर।
तो कैन यू सेंड मी दिस रिकॉर्डिंग?
डेफिनेटली सर, आई विल शेयर विद यू।
Any expert remark from your side, sir?
नहीं सर, फाइन सर, बहुत बढ़िया हुआ।
क्योंकि this was very first, you can say, participation in webinar from my side.
हाँ, आई थिंक आपका स्क्रीन शेयर नहीं हुआ था।
स्क्रीन शेयर नहीं हुआ था?
नहीं, मेरे इसमें नहीं दिख रहा था, माइट भी ऑडियंस को दिख रहा होगा तो पता नहीं, मेरे इसमें नहीं दिख रहा था आपका स्क्रीन।
अरे तो आप लोग ने बोला होता उसी समय, I could have done something. मैं तो
नो प्रॉब्लम, कोई दिक्कत नहीं आपका, लेकिन आपका जो एक्सप्लेनेशन है वही बहुत बढ़िया था।
अच्छा,
विदाउट स्क्रीन भी बहुत बढ़िया एक्सप्लेनेशन दे रहे थे।
अच्छा,
और विकास ने भी बहुत अच्छा किया, उसने भी
हाँ उन्होंने बहुत एनालिटिकल बढ़िया था विकास जी का एकदम।
वही इंडस्ट्री पर्सन रहते हैं ना सर, दे
जी
आर
हाँ।
मोर प्रोएक्टिव।
नहीं, आपने बहुत बढ़िया उसका पूरा प्लानिंग बढ़िया किया।
चलो ठीक है सर, थैंक यू वेरी मच, स्पेशल थैंक्स।
थैंक यू वेरी मच, फिर मुलाकात करते हैं। गुड बाय।
चले,
थैंक यू वेरी मच, बाय।